2 ways to invest in property. Hey, what's up guys? Hope you're all well. I've had a little break, a week off, so this is the first video in 2 weeks. And it is a video all about the 2 different ways you can invest in property. And one is the right way, one is, I think, the wrong way, but because it's property, it will always pay you back in the end. But look, as ever, before we get started, I just need you all to do me a huge favor, and that is to smash the like button and don't forget to hit subscribe. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because there are so many different types of ways of investing in property, trading property, getting started, taking control, buying, rent to rent, deal sourcing, developing, refurbs, HMOs. The list is endless and it can seem like a little bit of a minefield, especially if you are getting started or if you've maybe bought one property and it didn't go as well as you hoped. And then there is all the different types of people who buy property. There are entrepreneurial people, there are builders, there are retail investors, cash-rich individuals who have never invested in their life, and many, many more. And what I started to do was think about all the different types of different people and different types of investors and all the different types of properties you can buy and all the different ways you can take control and all the different ways you can make money and lose money. And I tried to bring it down to the most simplest way to distinguish between a good and the bad, the light and the dark, and the profit making and the loss making. And where I got stuck is I couldn't really distinguish between profit and loss making over a long period of time. Because the beauty of property is that if you get it all wrong, as I did in my very, very first property, if you can time the market correctly, you will make money. And if you can't time it correctly, but you can sit tight for a long period of time, you tend to recover and make money anyway. And it's this that has brought me down to my 2 differences of investments, the 2 different types of ways that you can invest. So if you're watching this video and you want rent to rent, deal sourcing, property development, HMO refurbishments, all of these different types of things, we are not going into any of that detail on this video. We are literally talking about the 2 different types and ways that you can take a view and eventually invest in property. And it is really simple. I'm going to break it down to making money and spending money. I'll say it again, making money and spending money. You're either one or the other. And I know what you're all screaming at your phone. Well, you can't buy property, you can't refurbish property without spending money. And I know, and I get that. But are you making money today? Are you making money on the project? Are you making money on all of the fundamentals involved in that project? Or are you literally just facilitating a spend and waiting for the market to grow to make profit? Let's start with making money. So in property, it doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, how much money you have in the bank, what location you live in, and what sector you are going to jump into. You will need to know how to make money. And you need to look at this as a way of making money in today's market. Forget what can happen in the future. Does the deal stack up versus how much it's going to cost, how much you're going to spend on it, the time it's going to take, what the market's going to do, your plan A, your plan B, your plan C, all of those different things. Are you savvy enough? Are you business-minded enough? Are you entrepreneurial enough to stack that deal up to make money today? And are you strong enough to stick to your plan, stick to the budget, know what you need to spend? You're not doing it for emotion. You're not doing it for yourself to live in. You're doing it for your target market. Are you strong enough to not let the whole project get away with you. Whether it be a small individual terrace or a development of 5 new build houses, it doesn't matter. The principles are the same. But if you are, and you take a view that this is a business and this is a way to invest money for maximum return, then you are what I think is the best type of investor. You are investor number one. You are entrepreneurial and you are looking at every single way the market could shift, is delivering, could fragment, is going to pay you back. And you are making smart moves based on all of those key points. And you are not relying on any growth within the market to pay you back. You are not interested in doing the project and learning something, and it doesn't matter if you don't make any money, because that is a fool's way of investing in property. And you are not one of the individuals who turn around and say, the project is going to cost what it costs, and I wouldn't live there, or I personally wouldn't want that in there. You are extracting an element of emotion out to become a property investor that is stacking everything to make money. But if you are not doing that, then you are typically investor number two. And investor number two knows how to spend. And that is, in a nutshell, really all they know how to do. I couldn't care less if they have 20 years of experience in property, they own 50 HMOs, they're builders by trade, they're ex-solicitors with conveyance and knowledge, accountants who can do all of the numbers. If you are spending money without a view to making maximum return, making a profit on that project within its timeframes, within its budgets, and at the target market, and you are one of these people that turns around and says, well, it doesn't matter if I lose money because I'm going to learn. And it doesn't matter if it costs me over the market because I'm going to sit on it for 20 years. It doesn't matter how much it's going to cost me to do the development because as long as I've got a place that I'm proud of or it's somewhere that I would like to live. You are a spend money investor. You are literally just spending money on the project and waiting for other uncontrollables to materialize your profit. And a really good example of this is individuals who hold a relatively good sized property portfolio, but when they bought and when they built and when they developed and when they converted those properties, they massively overspent. And they had to wait for 1, 2, 3 property cycles for their portfolio to now be worth. And these are the individuals who might be lowly geared today because they did it at such a long time ago. And it's all well and good. And I guess the underlying message here is that in property, you get it wrong. You can spend. But if you can sit tight, you will eventually recover and thrive and make money. But if you are looking to get into investing in property in today's market, and we are talking about where there is a plethora of information, social media, YouTube, training courses, podcasts, it's everywhere. People are much more turned on to what investing is today. And investing in property today means that you have got to be far more switched on, far more business minded. And I'm not saying this to scare anyone or anyone looking at this who hasn't got any experience in business or dealing with people or numbers, but you want to get involved in property. I don't say this to worry you and to stop you making the plunge. I say this so you really do start to learn from all of the different information you can get your hands on before you take the jump. Because if you take the jump in today's market where you don't make money, or you have the view of it will cost what it costs, or it doesn't really matter because I would live there. When we are in a position where prices are at their record high and interest rates are at a record low, and that has all come about post a major pandemic, a major disruption to our economy, you may very well find yourself being one of the first to make a bad decision and a bad investment and never be able to recover. And that is a really serious message, and the underlying reason why I decided to do this video as a warning to everybody that you cannot take a massive leap of faith on a project which is overpriced, is going to cost too much money, has too many risk factors. You have to look at it in detail with a business plan to make that project pay back within the time frame that you've allowed. And if you do that and you stick to your principles and you fall into investor one category, you are what I believe is the investor of today. Investor number two, there is just no room for them anymore in the market because it's so competitive. And when you decide which camp that you're going to sit in, it will then reverse engineer it right back to all of the other details, types of property, types of market, your attitude towards being involved, doing the work, not doing any work, appointing contractors, types of projects, timescales. All of those things will filter upwards once you decide. I hope that you make the right decision. But look, that's it from me. I hope you found the content rich. I'll catch you all on the next video.